Hi YouTube, this is Felicia with Bible Scraps, and several days ago I shared some yard sale finds, including this original, brand new by the way, Sizzix die cutting machine. Now this die cutting machine was before any of the Cricuts, it was before the Cuttlebug, back in, let's see, 2004 when I started crafting. When you walked into Michael's, this is the machine that you could have purchased along with these original red dies. I picked up this machine along with these two dies, all brand new, for $5 at a yard sale. And I was so super excited because about 3 years ago, or maybe 2 years ago, I got rid of my machine because it broke. So to have the original machine again, I'm excited about that. In this video, I will test cut or make my first cuts with this machine using the original die. Also, do you guys remember these? I'll test cut out this die along with this die. So you guys kick back and enjoy the vintage die cutting machine, because in the craft world, this is truly vintage. All right, well, let's test out this machine. It's been a while since I've used one of these. If mine didn't break, I definitely would have kept it. Okay, so two dies came with this machine. I already have this. I also use this die here, which is an awards die. I don't have this one. Now, I used to keep these clear cases, and I used to alter them. But maybe 4 years ago, I got rid of a whole bag of them. I didn't want to, but that stuff takes up a lot of room. And how I wish I kept these insert packets. Yeah. I keep them now when I find dies on eBay. All right, you guys. So the machine itself, the machine is heavy. I don't know how much it weighs, but if I had to guesstimate, it weighs probably about 10 pounds. And it comes with this cutting platform, and I could see that a test cut was made probably by the manufacturer. And what you do is you stick or you glide or slide your platform in. There's rails on each side or grooves, and it should freely slide back and forth. Place your paper facing the rubber and then put that on the platform. And you need to glide your platform. Oh my goodness, it's been such a long time since I've used this. I do remember needing to depress the lever several times. The cutting mechanism, it happens with this part of your machine. So you need to press down, and it's not difficult to do so, and then glide your die and platform in more and depress again. Okay, let's see if that works. Oh, I forgot to mention a little piece of paper, a thin piece of paper came with the machine, and it says this is a shim. It's just a piece of paper. Depending on which dies you're using, probably even with the original die, you probably need to add this piece of paper or make your own shim. Okay, let's see if that cut through. Yes, it did. Look at that. It cut through. Oh my goodness. This is so super fun to use this machine again. Okay, let's test cut a piece of fabric. I recently shared this very soft fabric I picked up at Tuesday morning. It should still be available. Alrighty. Place the fabric. I'm going to place mine face down, and it fits perfectly over the die. And let's do the same thing. Glide the die in about a little under halfway. You could do it halfway and glide the rest of it in. And let's see if the fabric cut out. Okay, so this time it did not cut well at all. Now in the directions, where are my directions? It do state that if you attempt to cut more than 2 sheets of paper at one time, it will result in an incomplete cut. And if you continue to repeat, it could cause wear and tear on your dies and your machine. Now, I have cut through multiple sheets of different materials using other die cutting machines. I just don't remember how well this particular machine will cut through different materials. Okay, so I'm going to use 2 pieces of cardstock as a shim. What you need to do is remove your platform and you put your shim right on the platform. And that's according to the directions, figure D. I forgot all about that. And then place your platform down. Going to add my fabric right to the rubber, and let's see if this will yield better cuts. Now I'm using 2 pieces of cardstock once again because fabric, and there's more pressure here. You probably should stand up when you're depressing this, and I'm sitting down. And I'm going to give, well, I'm going to stand up now. And I'll give an additional press in the center. I really do feel the pressure. I'm at an awkward angle. So if it looks awkward, that's the reason why. Let me have this. Okay, let's see if it yielded better cuts. You guys, I have a 2-year-old that's getting into things. Stop it before you break it. No, stop. It's a nice morning today, but when you're dealing with kids, it gets hot. So I just turned my fan on. He's trying to destroy my new sewing machine. Okay, let's see how this fared. Uh-oh, that's better, you guys. That was a clean cut. I forget how many times I depressed the lever. So what I'm going to do this time is remove 1 shim. Oh, here it is. I'll remove 1. I'll leave 1 in and add my platform. And then that first piece of fabric that did not cut out completely, I lined it back up to the best of my ability with the die cut. And let's cut it out and see how well it does. I'll give 3 depresses this time, and it's much easier with the 1 shim compared to 2, and that was much better. You do see some fraying there. So you could use 1 shim. This cardstock, it's how can I describe the weight of it? It's a medium weight cardstock. Okay, do you guys remember these dies, the yellow dies? We're now going to test cut it, and this is the rose. It was my, or flower rose. It was my favorite die in this size to use. Okay, I still have my shim. You know, let's remove the shim. And so far, this is how the platform looks. You should turn your platform over every now and again and try to cut in different areas of your platform. The platforms, they do last a good while. Alrighty, let's test this one out. And I'll just do 2 cuts. When you're cutting, you want to make sure that the die part or the shape part of your die is underneath this part. Okay. And we got almost a clean cut. But if I just pull it, perhaps, yeah. So it wasn't as perfect as the ribbon die, but it did cut through. If you wanted to cut out fabric, you would need to add 1 or 2 shims. Okay, now let's use this die. Do you guys remember these? So Sizzix had the red die, the yellow die, this die, and they also have the thinner, not wafer thin, they're called Sizzlets. I might do a separate video on it. If you wanted to use the Sizzlet with this machine, you would need the adapter. And I'm not sure if I got rid of my adapter. I don't know. Okay, so I'll position that like so. And we'll cut it just one time, because the whole die can fit underneath this part. And it looks like we got a clean cut. Oh, I love the shamrock. Okay, you know, let's test out a piece of fabric, your fabric, even your fabric scraps. And I'm going to do this twice, just because we're working with fabric. Oh, and that cut out with no shim. But this center part, I have to pull it out. And I'm going to do 4 times because I need to do each area twice. And no, that did not yield a complete cut. If you pull it, yeah, but look what happens. You do get the fraying. So the kids leave 3:30 in the morning, and let me tell you, it can't get here fast enough. All right, you guys, these are the cuts once again using the original die cutting machine of all die cutting machines, which is the Sizzix. The red machine is what it's known by. If you have been inspired to pull out your original die cutting machine or any die cutting machine you have, why not like this video? Give me a thumbs up. And I want to thank you all for watching. As always, blessings.